What's up, guys and gals? Darkdally here, and today it is a beautiful day on Spectacle Island. 8 in the morning, the sun is shining, the water is blue, and here we are at my little fishing village. I haven't really shown you guys this much yet, and even though I have done quite a few features from here already, I think tomorrow I'm going to take you guys through here and show you some of the design and stuff behind why I did what I did. Maybe you'll like it. But today is the second weekly Wednesday special, and I want to show something cool. I always try to save something really cool for the Wednesday special. And I've had a couple of viewers say they wanted to see this because I showed a small glimpse of it in an earlier video. And so today I'm going to show you, well, how to build it and everything. It is my firing range. This is something that I always wanted to design when I build my weapons workstations because I like to get really in depth. I like to have the workbench and weapons hanging around on the wall, and I like to have something nearby that I can target practice with. In fact, before we get to this, specifically one thing I like to do is I always like to have, and this may sound a little silly, I always like to have a turret somewhere within view of my weapons workbench. My weapons workbench is in here in the armory, behind the barred window, right there, and I have a turret out here, and the reason that is so I can quickly test. I'm not going to actually shoot it. I just want to test my VATS out. So I like to stand up in the workbench, spin around, and say, okay, what can my hunting rifle do? Okay, great. That's like 8 or 9 shots. And, I'll tweak a mod and whatever. But I also like to have something that I can shoot at, and that's where the design for this came from. Now, this is really cool because the targets explode. It's a fun, never-ending waste of ammo. And let me tell you guys, I've gone through thousands of rounds at this firing range. In fact, as you can see, I only have 250 rounds left after this magazine. Just yesterday I had 800 rounds. It's addicting. It's like really addicting to sit here and shoot these. And here's the beautiful part, is that you don't constantly have to get new extinguishers, which is what I chose to use. And I will explain the reasoning behind that, because they will repair themselves when they come through here. And so it's a constant, never-ending flow of exploding targets. Let's get to the science behind how this works. It's really easy, guys. It's painfully easy. Let's go in the back here. Now, it's simply just a circular conveyor belt. A conveyor belt this size, which is, I'll show you exactly what it's made up of. You got a vacuum hopper. Well, let's start here. Conveyor storage, which is where you store the fire extinguishers. I'll get to that. Then we get the vacuum hopper. Unfortunately, I actually didn't think that it would suck them from that far. But luckily it does, because the way the conveyor belts snap together, it's either the vacuum hopper this far away from the conveyor storage or fucking overlapping it. So, luckily it does work from here. I simply used a right turn, the regular size straight section, and then a right turn. It's really as simple as that. I think there might be a short little spacer in there. It's important to have a little building like this surrounding it, and walls as close as you can to it, because these things like to fly everywhere. See, they're right there. That's a prime example. Now I'll talk about fire extinguishers themselves. I wanted a shooting gallery, and so I thought to myself, what would be fun to shoot? Now, naturally, my first thought went to bottles. The problem with using bottles is, well, they're very small targets, but they do fly around great. They fly all over the place when you shoot them. It's awesome. But they're found very plentiful. When I want glass, I go clean out a brewery and come back with a couple hundred, But the problem is when they come out of the hopper, 80% of the time, they either come out on their side or immediately fall over on the side. The rest fall over as soon as they hit this first joint in the conveyor. And so what you have is you have these tiny little bottles you can't hit. So I started experimenting around. What else can I shoot? And I must have spent an hour. I went through all the different junk I had until I accidentally found out the fire extinguishers explode when you shoot them. And now here's the thing with fire extinguishers. They don't repair immediately, but there's like a small chance every time they come through here that one of them will repair. When they don't, well, let me show you. Let me grab one. Okay. Here's the beautiful part about these. Now, as you see, I can select it. I can pick it up. Oh, I can't pick this one up. Well, that's kind of what I meant to show you, but not in that way. Let's put it back down. Let's find one I can grab. Now, there we go. This one. Okay, you see it says extinguisher when I mouse over it. Now when I shoot it and it explodes, there we go. I can no longer pick it up. I can sit here and slam the A button all day long. I can no longer pick it up. It's now, excuse me, I got a bit of a cold here. It's no longer junk. It's just, yeah, crap now. But when you run it back through the conveyor system, it will repair and eventually become grabbable again. Some of them are not explodable, like for instance those which are still in, like this one right here, those which are still in the state of being repaired, they look normal but they don't explode, but rest assured in time they will. At any given time, with this many extinguishers running through your line, you can be guaranteed to have plenty of explosions. One thing I should mention, extinguishers are not the only thing. You can also use gas cans, but they don't repair nearly as fast. I find myself, when I fill this with gas canisters, and though they do explode in a fiery blast, they take several more shots to do it. So you need something like a shotgun or a high damage rifle to make them explode. And they don't repair as fast. I find myself like fast traveling away and back, and still none of them will explode. They're all still duds. These guys repair fast enough that you always have something to shoot and explode. Okay, enough going on about that. So, this is a pretty small contraption. This is version 2.0, and this is as small as I've been able to compact it, and it actually fits in this fairly decently sized building. It's really not too bad. You could attach this to the back of your armory, which is one thing I consider doing, so that you can finish making your weapons and you can turn around and you can test them right there. Now, another little thing here, as long as I was going to make a switch to start and stop, why not use a fire target? It just seemed appropriate, right? These can be found in the switches and connectors tab of the build menu, and you just wire it up like you would any switch, and the wire simply runs from here to the vacuum hopper. And because the vacuum hopper and all the conveyor belts and then the conveyor storage are connected by conveyor belts, it conducts all the electricity, and so the only wire you need to run is through the vacuum hopper. Now, I have walls, as I touched briefly on this, I have walls closely hugging, as closely as I could, hugging this conveyor belt, because these things like to fly everywhere. They can fly everywhere. The explosive ones especially love to throw the duds around. These walls are free placed, and that's the best way to do it. If you free place a wall, I think it should let me put one right here, perhaps. If you free place a wall, you can drag it so close to the conveyor belt, it will actually let you overlap it. So you can get walls literally hugging the conveyor. As you can see right here, it will actually let me overlap that wall to a degree. So, make sure it's as walled in as tightly as possible. Before I had this building, I was actually occasionally taking a swim out there to pick up fire extinguishers floating out in the ocean, because they like to fly everywhere. This is really fun, guys. It's really addictive. I've wasted far more ammo than I should have firing with these damned extinguishers. Now, as far as decorations, I have decorated with some festive neon lighting. I think this right here, using the gun racks, is probably the best way to go, because if you use a half wall to cover up the bottom of it, let me get one out here. Oh, it screwed me back to the beginning. Okay, let's go down here. If you use a half wall, it's a little bit, well, it's far too tall, as you can see. So, but you want to cover up the nasty undercarriage of your conveyor belt down there. So what I do is I place a nice little gun rack, I think I started out here and spaced it just right so that I was able to snap them all around. And then you got a nice little board, a pegboard. If you want, you could hang weapons here. Heck, that'd be appropriate, wouldn't it? Or any other kind of various decorations. Now, as far as lighting, I did forget to show you the lighting. Let's go over there. Cool lighting. The lighting doesn't really mix with the smoke like it would in real life, like I'd hoped it would, but it's still neat. I put a couple little lights up here. I got some strobies, and I got a disco ball. And then a regular little neon light for some steady white light. Of course, a good backdrop so that it looks good even at night. It looks super awesome at night, guys. And though there is some more I could do here, I'm not necessarily done with this, but I figured I'd go ahead and film this now because really I'm never done with anything. I'm always adding on to and modifying buildings. I may add some more lighting and stuff in here, but as you can see, it looks awesome at night. You can really see the flashing lights, and everything always makes the smoke look really cool. Sometimes during thunderstorms, the smoke is purple. I would imagine during rad storms, it's green. It's a really cool effect. I hope you guys like it. Let me know if you want to see anything else regarding this, if you have any questions as to how it was built. Maybe you never built with conveyor belts. It's really easy. Literally, the hardest part of this was snapping the walls tightly around it. Guys, there you have it. There's my firing range. I thought it was a cool little idea. See, I'm still shooting this thing. It's so addictive. I'm still standing here shooting it. So, let's turn it off. Maybe they'll turn off the desire to shoot. So I think tomorrow I may make a video featuring the ins and outs of my fishing village here, some of the ideas I had behind how it's arranged. Maybe you'll find it insightful, maybe you'll just find fun to watch. I always think everything through very well, and I try to think and plan when I design. But you know what's really cool? All the thinking and planning and designing aside, when you just have something fun. You know, it's fun to come home and shoot stuff and make it explode. And so, with that said, you know, I was just walking past this switch, and I just thought, okay, maybe this is kind of cheesy, or maybe it's just a really cool way to end the video, but you know, I have these fireworks set up, and I never really used them because what's the point of setting off fireworks for myself? Let's see how they look at night. Alright guys, so that was this week's weekly Wednesday special, showing my exploding shooting range. I hope you thought it was cool. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name is Darkdally. I will catch you guys next time.